So far, the Crew has cleared every hurdle naysayers have placed in their way. Columbus would be home to one of the 10 inaugural teams. Columbus has outperformed much larger cities. The true success indicator has been from the fans.
Hello and welcome to the club. I'm your host Mars, and this is the Upper 90 Club, a roundtable podcast where five friends discuss the Columbus Crew. We are just wrapping up the regular season. On this episode, we're going to review the final game against Montreal and everything that unfolded on Decision Day. We're going to get a likely somber review of the MLS.
We're pretty. I'm trying not to be flat. We all got on here and we're all like kind of deflated.
MLS next MLS next year.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're recording this like just really a couple hours after Crew 2 lost the final. But we are also going to look ahead to the best of three games against Atlanta. Not really sure what our publishing schedule is going to look like over the next few weeks because the games are falling on some odd days, but we've got some time to figure it out. And then we'll do our predictions for the first game that's coming up here on the 1st of November at home. With me in the club are Ben, Mort, Trey, and Huz. Say hi, guys.
Hello.
Yeah, postseason.
Yeah,
Still
number
trying
3.
to get hype. I'm still super bummed.
No, there's a lot to talk about. We will get there.
Well,
I took it way too personal.
Hey, I think
Trey's like, you took it way too personal.
stick around on the podcast today because I feel like this is going to be one of those that started a little bit down here and then it ends up to total chaos and fun at the end.
Yeah, chaos is a good
like
That usually what happens because we drink.
Just like our explanation, like our explanation of the playoffs last week.
yeah, goodness. Yeah, no, but I've been kind of thinking. So I've been thinking about our season, and we finished third when all was told. There was no real catching Cincinnati, but I mean, I actually think that we had a really good start, and then if you remember all the panic and
It was injuries, man.
Yeah,
we had an injury.
yeah, that's
we had
what
an
I'm
injury
saying.
thing,
We
'cause
spent so
keep
much
forgetting
time talking
Cucho
about
went
who
down
was
for
going
a while.
and who's going to be in the back line. You know, it's a different 3 every week, and there was like the Quinton chapter and everything else. Like we've had a long season, and really, I feel like, save for a couple late subs of Kevin Molino over the last 6 or 7 weeks, we're in top form.
We could have been like second in the entire league.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Or
So
did we finish third in the entire league?
Third in the entire league.
Or we're above St. Louis, right?
We're second in
did.
drop points as well. Like 22 points dropped from.
Yeah,
Man.
The point I'm trying to make
Success.
is our goals for this show are going to be kind of like the Crew season. We're gonna finish really strong.
Finish strong.
Yeah. We're going to have a Quentin
One
in
of
the
us
middle,
might F it up.
but we'll
just-
finish.
We'll see.
Well, before we started recording, we spent a half an hour troubleshooting Haas's audio.
Internet.
Yeah. But so I don't know. I was pretty encouraged by the performance against Montreal yesterday, I guess it was. And so let's not dwell on the Crew 2 sadness here.
We'll let Bird do that.
They did a great job this season.
Great season.
But heartbreaking to drop the final, especially to the unnamed opponents.
Yeah, we don't need.
Okay, so let's jump into the review of the Montreal game. We're going to keep it quick because we got some Twitter stuff to review, and we also have our Circstat to discuss. So with that, Haz, why don't you go through the lineups for the Montreal game? Then we can run through the goals and then have a discussion.
Yes, the Crew started Cucho, Matan, Ramirez up top, Amundsen, Morris, Nagby, Gressel, Zawadzki, Camacho, Camacho,
Camacho.
Schulte.
Like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Zawadzki coming in for
Well, kind of coming in for Amundsen, kind of.
Amundsen question mark?
Yeah.
And
It was like
Amundsen
a-
moving up instead of Yao. Yeah, that was confusing
Yeboah.
because the original FOT mob that came out had Amundsen in the back and Zawadzki up on the left wing. And I was just like, sure. I mean, Zawadzki plays every position, so that totally
And then
makes sense.
and
So,
Rossi
no
was
questions here?
out. Rossi was out.
He was injured. Does anybody? I didn't
thigh
really.
injury.
I think it's
Thigh injury.
precaution, as you call it. Right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Did we get any
Yeah,
information about? Yeah, like was it like during practice or something?
Yeah,
I
I
have
think
to
they said
assume.
he had like
Yeah.
a feel or slight something.
Well, and at this point in the season, like, just if there's no reason, you know what I mean? Like, just leave him out, let him get healthy. Don't risk anything.
Yeah, there wasn't. It wasn't a do or die game for the crew. I mean, obviously we wanted to win, but there were plenty of decent outcomes even with a loss. So it didn't matter though. We did a great
Yeah.
job.
I kind of want to talk about later. Like, this is my starting three if I have a gun to my head, but we'll kind of get into that.
Yeah,
a little bit later.
And so Ramirez got the start where he's been kind of coming in later. All right, let's run through the goals real quick. How's I'm going to put you on the spot again. First goal it's pretty
Real
quick,
quick.
right? Montreal
Not great.
scored in the 7th minute. It's a good looking goal. Talk through that one.
Yep, Montreal plays a line splitting pass through to Braulgiard. Pronunciations. He's able to play a ball across
Braulgiard.
the box to a wide open Ibrahim, who shoots it past Schulte. Amundsen is slow to pick up Braulgiard, and Camacho is jogging and not defending Ibrahim. The defense
Real
looked
confusing.
real bad there.
It seems like Amundsen was like on the wrong leg. I don't know how he didn't get in a slide to block that cross.
Yeah.
But there was literally nobody on the back either. I mean,
Yeah, there was nobody watching it.
like
It just,
Camacho,
it didn't
like,
make.
what was
I don't
he
know what he was doing.
Like, I don't want
Yeah,
to get too
I
upset
thought he
about
was
it. It
offside.
doesn't matter, but I mean,
Yeah, the way they were jogging, I thought he was holding a line and that he was offside, and they were just like, "Cool, he's offside. Like it'll come back."
Yeah.
And I was just like, "Oh, it's offside."
It was the first
and then
time.
like phone ding, and I was like, "Oh, it's not."
It was
They
the
just weren't.
first
It was
time in
so
our
weird.
third.
That was so weird.
First time in our third, I think, in the whole game.
Yeah.
And Montreal is 12-0-1 when scoring first.
When scoring first, I know I saw that, which is that's a
mentioned
Not
banana
anymore.
They
stat.
mentioned. Were you guys
Right,
all
they're
at the
also
game?
like,
say what?
Mort
you guys all-
Tracy,
who was at the game?
Mort Tracy and I were at the game.
Yep.
I'm not allowed at any games.
No. True story.
That's a. Is that a
I had
front office
COVID 2
thing,
weeks
or-
ago, so I
right.
wasn't at it. It probably was a
He offended the religious fanatics out front.
Okay.
That was me.
Joke's on you. I was the religious
me.
fanatic. That was me.
Yeah, they said that on the broadcast too that they had that record 12-1 when scoring first. I guess I don't know. It was just so fast, decisive. I mean, yeah, we got worked, but like, yeah, Schulte didn't really have a chance to stop it. I mean, I think he dove for it, but
He got a hand on it, but I mean, yeah, whatever.
Did
It's
any-
weird. It was run a play, which rarely happens with us. Usually, it's on a set piece or a corner or some crap.
Yeah.
So run a play. Defense was out of position, and the whole thing seemed just very like what happened. Yeah, like Amundsen should have slid to block that cross, and then everybody's just kind of jogging. I'm watching it now. Even no one is running.
Yeah, they just
I
got in
don't know.
behind
I
us,
don't get
and it was bad. Bad defense.
Good.
Yep.
I mean, good passing behind. It was wrong-footed Amundsen. Bummer.
It's
Did
just bad-
anybody
it's bad
else?
defense.
Did anybody else think like me though? I was like, oh well, I guess we just have to start from one down.
No,
there
I
was
wasn't worried
there
about
wasn't, after the start,
yeah, I
from
kinda
what
wasn't
I
either.
saw leading up to that, I was like, we're on it. We're gonna
My
get some
initial
goals
thought
today.
was,
Yeah.
well, I predicted 3-1, so they had to score. So
Oh yeah, there we go.
My first thought too was like, there goes the 1-0. And I almost sent out like, and we need to stop right now and say that, for the people that haven't or don't know what happened way early on in the season, Mars said we will never win 1-0, and I thought that was just stupid. He put on the line like, I will buy an Austin jersey. I'm like, no, dude, like there's no way. That is so dumb. But we're sitting here and it 100% happened.
So great.
Like we never won 1-0. Like
a moment in podcast history.
And I was sitting there at the game, just like, well, I predicted 2-0. I'm getting the shirt.
Hey, there's still games to be played.
Yeah, hey, you're lucky we made it into the playoffs. But yeah, I will shout out to Mars. That was an insane thing to do. You got it. And the other thing I thought was crazy is I'm pretty sure didn't the Crew 2 win 1-0 every game up until the final? I'm pretty sure, and we scored first, and I was like, man, if we win the final 1-0, that means the Crew 2 won every game 1-0, and the Crew 1 never scored 1-0 for a year. It's like,
Well, so I agree with you more. I was not intimidated by the score line. This is the game that we play. I mean, we typically do score first because we score so many goals. But getting scored on first, I wasn't concerned. And Cucho was like in his typical insane form. He answered in the 17th minute. Do you have that one pulled up, Haas?
Yeah, so the Crew build out of the midfield. Amundsen plays Matan out on the left. He cuts in and goes by two defenders, crosses the ball out wide to Gressel. He settles the ball, lays a kind of 50-50 ball back to Moreira. As that happens, Ramirez is taken out in the box, but Moreira's able to win it. He steps around Nagbe in the box, and he's able to find Cucho by the edge of the box, who shoots a curler with his first touch. Goes to the off the post and into the side netting.
So nasty.
If you watch that at the beginning too, he tees it up. He like takes a second. He's like, "Feed me." He just like plays a little ball and absolutely pings it off the post. And I'm just like, "Oh, that felt so good." I was just like doing some weird worm dances in front of my kids. I'm like, "That was so sick."
What was his celebration? First of all, he did.
I'm watching it right now.
He did spit up a big loogie first, and then
dude, straight up this MLS. If you rewatch this game, every time there's a break or they zoom in on somebody, someone is spitting. I was like, I mean, I guess it's close to freezing. A lot of people have sinus issues. I know I have sinus issues, so I totally get it. But I was like, man, everybody needs to take it easy. Like everyone just busted out some Mucinex before the game or something. I don't know, man. It was bananas. Take it easy.
So that was the celebration.
I'm watching it. It's so nice, man. Off the inside of the post, and then it doesn't hit again till the inside of the net on the other side. Yeah, it was sick.
Yeah,
his celebration. That was like on the ground.
It's like an angry celebration in a way, but he did he was like running up to the bench and all that. Yeah.
Did you say he kicked it from the pass? He didn't like.
No, it was his
first one time
first touch. Yeah.
Yeah, he one-timed it. It was so nice. It was so nice.
Yeah.
After the thing, he's like yelling at people. I don't know. Yeah, whatever.
So that wasn't, we expected more. I mean, he was, we could talk about the general play here in a few minutes, but I don't know. I felt like it was inevitable that he was going to score. He was in position so frequently through the first half.
Yeah.
And second half, and
let's do the second goal, and then I want to
Okay, so then we scored again, the game winner from Nagbe in the 50th minute. Go through that one, Haas.
Yeah, so the Crew have a great spell of possession. They work the ball on the right side, then switch it and move it to the left. Zawadzki plays a ball forward to Amundsen. He plays in a give and go with Cucho. Dribbles into the box and lays the ball off to Nagbe just outside of the box. He takes one touch and shoots with his right, and it goes to the keeper's left and in.
Just placed it in there. Beautiful.
I mean, it's it's that time of year when Nagby's going to score a banger outside of the 18,
Yeah.
right? Like that's happened like 30 in a row, and it's just like, and Nagby scored another goal outside the 18.
He doesn't take a lot of shots. I'd be interested to see what his,
shot to goal ratio.
Yeah. And they're always, as Ben said, he's rarely close, right? It's just kind of like, oh, I'm in position and just drain something from outside. So yeah, that was great, and that was the winner. I'll mention before we talk about the game in general, just that Farsi and Jason Russell Rowe came in the 71st minute. I know, Ben, nice. You've been
got a nice capybara
asking
chant
for that for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And Yeboah came in for Matan in the 83rd. Chiberko in for Camacho in the 91st.
Yeah.
Chicka Slim Chiberko.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well played. The blonde Chiberko.
What's
very blonde.
His name? What's his name?
But Matan, though, I gotta say, Matan, he was playing so well.
Yeah.
Just running at defenders on the left side. Well, I guess it was the left side, either half. Yep. But left side directly in front of us where we stand and watch the game, like it was like on display where he was just beating defenders constantly. Very enjoyable to watch.
It was.
Yeah, some of the early chances was him, and also the start. I think also the start sequence of what ended up being the goal. I think he was also doing some dribbling, didn't he? No, he was phenomenal.
No, he had the beautiful cross all the way to the almost practically the corner flag that they then brought back to the middle and then ended up at Cucho for the curler. But
I will
that
really quick mention that the game did not end 2-2, and Molina was not subbed in. So I don't know if those two things are related, but
coincidence?
I did. We were closer to winning 5-1 than them tying this
man. Yeah. So I didn't make this joke because I've been saving this, but I'm pretty sure just Cucho's XG for this game was like 7.2.
Yes.
He had so many like shots inside the 6 where he should have put away. So I'm just like, so I'm looking at the XG now and it was only 1.5 and I'm like, no, I call bull crap. There's
2.55 is what I have on this game, but okay.
I had the first half broken out and then the second half in the dock. So,
I see. Okay,
I remember he had one.
I got to learn to read.
Was like he was kind of underneath it. He tried to one time it and just blew it over.
He had like almost a couple breakaways and stuff. Like he just
If Russell Rowe could probably have one or two as well. So
I actually thought he played really well.
Yes,
and that's why he had some good combos at the end. He held on to it. There was that one that he had where like he had about 3 chances to shoot and didn't take any of them and ended up just kind of running into the keeper with his body. Like he just didn't.
You only get 20 minutes like trying to get in the flow of the game. But yeah, to bring it back to Matan, I feel like he is. Who's the guy from Chicago they brought in the Power Cube?
Shaqiri.
Shaqiri. I feel like they want Shaqiri to be like what Matan is, like tiny, quick,
power.
Like
cube.
you can't. Yeah, he's called the Power Cube.
He's
like he's just tiny. You can't take the ball off him. He just like is a good number 10. Who Matan is so close to just being like insanely good. He's just not scoring. I think, but he has a bunch of assists, right? He has like
11. He has quite a few.
I feel like he's in double
digits. Recently, I don't
know
that he has a lot, but yeah.
I mean, if you count like
he's got 11 for the
hockey
season.
assists or whatever. Yeah, and I feel like if you include like MLS hockey assists, he's like up near 20. He's so good, and so I do want to like say, playing with Ramirez, Cucho, and Matan, you get that trifecta of like a number 9 who's pressing on the back line, a guy like someone like Matan who's like dribbling on the ball, and then Cucho who's like wild card chaos. I think that 3 does so much better than having Rossi in there instead of Ramirez. Discuss. Okay, cool. Everybody's on my page.
I don't feel like there's. I like Rossi on the field personally.
He's very good. I'm having a hard time figuring out like his place in that chaos front three, because the way we play that front three is so fun because everybody has autonomy to kind of do whatever, and I feel like those three know their roles better than like Rossi. I mean, without playing like Ramirez is such a proper number 9 who's pressing that back line and stretching that it gives like our guys underneath space to run. I don't know. I felt good, and I felt like it paid off this game. It felt like they got the result.
The nice thing
we could have literally had like 6 goals.
The nice thing is we start a game and we already know that Ross isn't playing, and nobody in the stands are going like, "Oh no, this is horrible," right? Everybody know, okay, next man in. We know we have guys to get the job done, and even if Ramirez wasn't there, I will be okay with even Russell Rowe coming in and taking that spot because he's proven it to look actually more dangerous often than I think Ramirez looks sometimes.
Yeah,
but it's easy.
But he's again, yeah. Again, he is a different player. All of our attackers are just different players.
But to your point, Matan, you talked about
I know. Yeah.
Assist for the season, 8 in the MLS. It's ahead of Vela. It's equal to Charles Gill, Espinosa, Gill. Pronunciation.
Yeah, I like Gill. Yeah. Let's just call him Gill.
And Mukhtar has only one more. I mean, like he's really, and there's a couple of, Almada has 16 or something insane, but he's right there with some of these like key players that play similar type of positions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a shame that Cucho didn't get more. That he got. I keep forgetting he got injured because I'm like, man, he almost had the golden boot. But I was like, we had, Zelly who was scoring a bunch of goals. Like the way our offense is set up, there's a lot of distribution of goals. There's not just like one guy who scores. So I was like, it's okay that he didn't win the golden boot, but I forgot he was injured for he missed almost 10 games or something like that. Maybe 7-8 games or something like that. So, I mean, if you add maybe in that 7 games, he scores 3 goals, he wins golden boot. And I don't know. It just kind of speaks to the crew this year finishing 3rd with a new coach. And if like we said earlier, if you think about like that, we had the Quinton era, we had the backline issues. Like we have had such a good season.
There was probably about 6 weeks, 8 weeks, maybe, where it was really kind of like, are we gonna
make the playoffs?
Get back to this?
Yeah.
Like we started with the plan, and that was like the Nancy version 1.0. I know he was kind of stitching together. We made a few changes in the off season with
but not really.
What's his name?
I mean, we brought in
we did some good trades over the summer. There's no doubt that we did some really
the summer
window was huge.
Gressel,
But I just remember I think it was Chiberko. Are you guys telling me I'm saying that wrong? Is that was that the joke earlier?
No. Okay. There was a reference to Eminem when they said, "What's the name?"
Yes, because he dyed his hair.
He dyed his hair blonde.
Okay, got it. Chiberko. Remember when we signed him? I think it was Chiberko when we signed him. We were like, "How long is it going to be before?" It was like July. We signed him early, and we were counting the days because we were so defense hungry and so thin in the back. Although that said, that was the time when Zawadzki started to kind of shine and get put into that position.
No, I think a lot of it came down to, and we called it on this podcast, it was addition by subtraction. You took Quentin off the field, and that defense got incredibly better. Yeah, you can't even measure how much. I don't even know.
It was like 3 or 4 games where we were struggling with him back there.
Yeah,
and he was only back there because
they were trying to still play Zawadzki as a defensive mid, and he didn't really have a home. But as soon as he came in and took that role, this team took off. And then
center back.
Zava has been a key to the change. If we didn't have him as the type of player willing to do those things that was asked of him, we probably would not be in this position. Because if we don't get the stability that we got, we would still be on a roller coaster ride, I think. And that's kind of the thing now is, you have a good team when it's kind of like, exactly how it's going to look like. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's not, oh, they changed this and this, but we know how it's going to look. It's not like, why is he doing that? Why is this guy in there? And why there's some subs late we've been saying, why the hell is he on the field? But when it comes to the kickoff and the most of the game, there's kind of like, all right, okay, next man up, no surprises. We know what to expect. It's just, and we know kind of what to, that is a sign. It's like when you watch like Manchester City or like Real Madrid and them play, you know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
And right now we're in a place where this team has formed into something. We know exactly what to expect from this team.
Well, and Ben had mentioned it earlier, is that, whether it's Ramirez coming in or whether it's Rossi coming in or whatever the front three mix up is, it's the same expectation.
Yes.
And all of them have the capability to put the ball in the back of the net and be dangerous.
Yeah. And my big thing about this entire thing, when you're talking about Man City, when you're talking about, I wouldn't say Real Madrid, specifically Man City, is the buy-in from the players to play for the manager.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That is the absolute benchmark, because you watch somebody like, who was I just watching? Like somebody like Chicago or something like that. Like the players don't like get upset or whatever, but like everybody on this team, even watching Crew 2, has bought into this system and play for each other. So that's why, we have so many like different goal scorers. Like everybody in the field has scored. That's why Moreira got the assist. Our right back got the assist to the first goal because he dribbled through 3 people. Like it's bananas. Like it's crazy. So I think that's the biggest thing. And for the viewers at home, Haas is having a real rough podcast. I'm like talking.
Back?
Haas has been gone for like 15 minutes.
Let's go into the stats.
Martin, I'm not sure if you're going to pivot away from this game, but before we do, can we give a shout out to the MVP of this game? Montreal Samuel Piet. His in those shorts, tucked in,
Master,
was amazing. Just team tuck it, like
okay. So
team tuck it.
Before the game even started, Daly was like,
just
who's
handing you divorce papers.
I said one of my, it was instead of one of the guys that used to sit with us, he sent his wife because he's out of town, and she was sitting next to me, and she was talking about it too. And then afterwards, and here's the funny thing was, I made a comment. It was like, my friend Trey would really hate that guy, and Jesse was sitting on my side. It was like, what do you mean? It's like, hey, he said, got that shirt tucked, and it's like I get bing, and I look, I look at my phone, and it's like, and it's the message from Trey saying like, this guy with a picture of him.
As soon as we started, and they were like tweet, and it was just like this guy.
It was so perfect.
Daly thought he was wearing padding.
He didn't
like
he didn't look like a soccer player. He looked like. He looked like
what I said is he looked like
gazpacho guy from I Think You Should Leave. Like
I said he looked
comedy
like
hour, man.
No, he looked like a villain from Die Hard.
He's like,
he had the ponytail and a tucked in shirt. All
he
needed was
Hans
like an
and Franz of soccer. Like it doesn't look real.
Well, what we did,
he got destroyed.
The last thing I was going to say about this game, and I can relate it to his, and that is that
good.
Is not going to be in the playoffs. Can you believe that the end, what happened at the end of that game?
You know what?
I didn't realize it until rewatching.
Well, you guys were at the game, so I wasn't at the game, and they zoomed in. Yeah,
they were on their bench watching New York
Red Bulls game.
Red Bull.
No, so I had to leave.
Yep, but go ahead.
Okay. I had to leave. I had to leave right away because I was driving somebody home. So normally I sit around, especially the win. But I went home and I watched like 360 all over again, almost like all the way through, like skipping a little bit forward because there was so much crap going on. It was wild.
Yeah, there was like 9. I think they said 9 movements in the table. This year for a neutral would have been like the best year to watch. Like, there's just so much, especially in the West too.
Too bad they couldn't watch.
Well, the Red Bull, the Red Bull win or result was a PK, wasn't it? A late PK.
Yeah, it was.
In the 94th minute.
Yeah, and it was 100%.
Could you imagine Could you imagine taking a PK like into the playoffs?
Right,
Tolkien.
Wait, what?
Those
Yeah,
Tolkien
no,
that took the
I
penalty.
mean, good for Red Bull. I mean, hey, you've had a horrible season.
Sure. They had a terrible season.
Your douche of a player steps up, makes it. Get ready for the first round knockout.
Yeah, speaking of Eminem.
I think
Yeah.
it's 18 years in a row into the playoffs. It's like the longest standing
Wow.
streak.
Sports.
Yeah.
Sports. Yeah. Sports. Yay, sports.
How many?
All right.
How many stars do they have?
None. There's Tolkien is pretty much their biggest star.
Ding.
That's because they need to go back to the
You
New
meant
Jersey
stars
Metro
on the
Stars.
jersey.
Yes. Sorry. No, I meant
yeah.
like how
Do
many?
they
might have
Bradley
one.
win with them?
They might have one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Bradley Wright Phillips.
Metro Star.
No,
Yeah,
they
the
didn't.
Met- they should-
No.
they should
I
have
don't think
stuck.
they've won. I don't think they've won.
There's no way to find out.
No, and we the closest they got.
They've never
was in
won an MLS
2008.
title.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
They had to have gotten the Shield once.
They've got three.
What
Three
they
supporter
were? They
shields.
were the
Yeah.
West.
Well, that was the year that it was.
Yes.
They were
it
the
was
West
like a weird
final.
kinda- yeah.
When they used to do
okay.
the realignment. Yep.
All right, let's take a quick break here. When we come back, we'll do Twitter, CircStat, we'll do a Crew 2, and then we'll do our predictions. We'll be right back. Girls, come to story time. In the great green room, there's a telephone and a red balloon.
Dad, please don't do this. Goodnight Moon is for babies.
It's a board book, dude.
Okay, fine. What's it going to be? You guys pick.
Okay, we love this one.
Oh, A Massive Collection Volume 1 by Steve Sirk. You know, this is the first wide-ranging collection of his work. It features long-lost stories dating as far back as 97. It has a lot of popular favorites from over the years, too.
Well, what is volume 1? Like it's quiet?
No, it means it's like the first of a larger set.
Oh, okay, so where's the next one?
Well, it's funny that you asked that because Volume 2 just came out. You can get it at Steve Sirk's website, circbook.com. It'll also be available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. Links will be available at
We are
some
not
point.
listening to you. Just go order it.
All right, we're back. Boy, that was a long break. God, that was too long. It was so long. We recorded an entire other show during that break. Let's go to the CircStat first.
This is Steve Sirk, and this is a CircStat.
With 16 goals and 11 assists, Cucho already has the most goals and goal contributions of any of the 4 double-double seasons in #Crew96 history. However, he needs an assist tonight. This would be last night to join the only dozen player in club history, and that was Ethan Finley.
Yeah. Which we were supposed to have Chris on tonight, which that seems like that would have been a slam dunk.
Yeah,
so-
DeVille. I asked DeVille too long ago to join us on this show, and then we both forgot. So
Yeah.
he's
All
going to
that
be
well,
joining us soon. Ethan Finley.
Yeah.
Great guy.
I keep forgetting he got called up to the national team and had an assist and stuff. Yeah, man. He
I
was
told you
awesome.
I watched
double.
the first game I ever saw in Chicago before I lived here. Was his whole family was here because Chicago at the time was the closest franchise to his family in Minnesota.
Yeah.
And so they had
ended up
traveled
going home to
down.
Minnesota. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he still
So-
playing? I actually don't know. Is he,
He was in
Did he go to
Minnesota.
Austin?
He's an Austin.
Didn't he go to Austin? He went to Austin.
Yeah.
Talking double.
double double?
Dozen.
Dozen.
Hawes,
Man.
is this another one of your cranky anchors references?
No, I think talking double is like a Steely Dan or
Okay.
somebody.
Cut it in half and double it was
Yes.
yes. was crank anchors. Okay. So what do you think of this? I mean, we know that this has been a great season. I don't think of Cucho as a similar player to Finley, but as we said
Double-double.
earlier, without
That means
the,
he had
without
12
the
goals.
injury,
12 goals is a lot, right? I don't remember him being that much of a goal scorer as far as like a left-footed assist maker. I don't remember scoring that many goals.
No,
For
that-
12 seems kind of a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. I don't know if this was the same year, but and I know it's Winky Miram. He strung it together a lot with the
Yeah, I remember both of them. Yeah.
No, it was the year with
It was-
Kamara in the middle too, wasn't it? We
It had
scored
to
a
be
ton of
15.
goals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It had to be 15.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Right.
That was a good
2015.
season for a lot of us.
everything.
Interesting.
The season with no end. Yep.
Yeah. Somehow it ended with no final game.
At all.
Yeah,
Left it off.
that was
It's
his
a shame.
right. The
can't
original,
believe they did
the
that.
original
Earthquake.
hosting a final at home and blowing it.
Didn't happen.
Yeah,
So
That's crazy. I feel like, I mean, a double makes sense. Again, I will say it's kind of crazy that Cucho did miss 7 or 8 games and still was able to almost win the Golden Boot and still have that many assists.
Was it that many?
Especially,
Was it like 5?
I think he's just making
5
up
games?
numbers. Yeah.
no, it was 7. How many
4 or
games
5?
are in a season? 34?
32.
34.
34.
He played
So
for
he
the
played
regular
27
MLS.
games. So MathCast tells me 7 games.
He missed 7 games.
So
He's
I'm
so
a
proud of
genius.
himself. Look at him. Look at him, how proud he is.
But
for that
still,
man.
the way we're built, we have a lot
Basic.
of different attackers. So I feel like
Yeah, he's
I
built
just
really
wonder,
well.
we also have do we tie with the most goals we've ever had, or did we set a record
beat
this
it.
year or
We
tie
beat
a
it.
record?
67.
So I mean, he had a lot of goals, but we also those goals were spread out throughout the entire team. I mean, so many people scored.
yeah.
Right? I mean, I feel like, if we're starting the last game with our players, maybe there was 2 people that didn't score on the field, including the goalie, and Schulte had an assist. That's kind of crazy to have one guy battle for Golden Boot, but also have so many other people scoring. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
With our-
I guarantee that
with our
Ethan
leading
Finley was
scoring. Our leading scorer left halfway in the season. He had 10 goals.
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just crazy.
Well, so yeah, and also we forgot to mention big shout out to Steve Cirk, the impetus for the Cirk stat. He joined us on the show last week on the off week, and we got to talk about his new book, A Massive
was
Collection,
awesome.
Volume 2.
It took some massaging to kind of get it going, but once he realized,
I was so bummed that my internet wasn't working for that because
oh man, he was awesome. By the end, we all had the same jokes, and he
We were all just saying the same thing at the same time.
yeah, it's like,
we
who did
couldn't-
become best friends?
Yeah.
I've loved his writing for so long.
It's good. It's really good.
My favorite crew
Yeah.
statistician.
Wow.
No one's ever
I didn't
said
think
it
you were
like
going to
that.
get that right.
Yeah.
Man,
Very specific pronunciation.
So I was ready to jump all over that.
Let's flip over to Twitter. I'm gonna throw to Ben on this because I'm not on.
Yeah, let me pull this on.
What are the people saying, Ben?
Well, all right. So usually I post right after the game. We're gonna hop on the pod tomorrow, yada yada yada. I waited until after the Crew 2 game, so a lot of this stuff may be more Crew 2 oriented, which is fine. And we'll kind of dive into that because I think right after this we're gonna hop on over to Bird. I just texted Bird and he's like, I can't do it tonight. I'm too
Crying.
emotional. I'm gonna do it tomorrow. And I'm like, that's totally fine. Sleep on a Bird. So let's start out with Way. Way always did. He said Broccoli FC fans are going to be talking mad beep after winning MLS Next Pro, except their team didn't make the playoffs. So who's really winning? Eyes.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
That's kind of the consolation. Again, Bird will hop into it, but I took it way too personal. I took this game way too personal. I hate Austin.
I hate that I had to care in the way that I do because it was like any other team would be like, well, it's the Next Pro. No, it was the fact that we had Austin in our own house, and that hurts.
and we were up 1-0.
And we were having a lead, and that's why it hurts. If it was any other team,
Even if it was
Cincy, I'd be like,
Yeah, I know. Well, we've talked about that, and
Yeah.
there's
No,
something.
it's not the same.
There's something brewing between the yellow and the green, right? I mean, we haven't played them. We've never. The first
Which
teams
seems
have not
crazy.
played.
Blue.
They're blue.
No. We're talking about Austin.
I'm sorry.
Tracy
yellow.
just found out he's colorblind. Nope. What an awkward way to find out. I'm sorry. They are blue and
He
black.
said-
It's like,
I'm sorry.
holy,
Marsh
really?
said there's something brewing between the yellow and the green, and I said it's blue.
Yeah, but it's like that doesn't really work like that.
That was actually really funny.
It's a primary color joke.
Holy cow!
Yeah, but
Someone has kids.
And technically green is between yellow and blue, but I don't want to get into that.
Yeah.
But
It's not really, but it's really.
I'm too focused on the details for that to be
deep.
to be credited. Yeah. So, but all this is to say that, boy, it hurts to lose a game to Austin. And we haven't had many opportunities to to duke it out, or zero to date,
which is 0
on the field. So, that hurt.
Yeah, let's just bounce. Okay, so the next one, again, keep in mind that this came right after the Crew 2 loss, so emotions are flying. A lot of tears hitting the floor. Stormtroopers hitting the floor. Marco and Noah deserve first-team contracts. They've done everything they could. And they need to get called up and let the next generation of Cappies come through. So I watched most of the Cappies game, and I'm not convinced on those two, and I feel like I'm going to get canceled for saying.
I have to put a footnote here that I haven't watched any Cappies this year, but I watched this game from start to finish, and there was nothing that I saw out there that warranted anybody to be playing for the
I will
team.
argue with you that I think Matteo Bunbury up top has a future. He's young. He's really young.
Is that the number?
The number 9 up top.
Number 9.
He wasn't
or
9.
10.
No, he was 9. That was like the fusion or something, wasn't it?
Fuson.
Noah.
No, Matteo Bunbury is Teal Bunbury's little brother.
Right.
And he's only 17 or 18 years old, I think.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Age is a part of this, though.
So,
he's raw.
He's raw.
Agreed.
He's young. But
not yet.
Not yet.
I think the answer then is yet. There's nothing from this team that said, "Oh, that would be nice to have him on the team." Yeah, we are spoiled.
We're spoiled from last year. The number of players that were able to move up to the first team, and that's fantastic. That's what we want out of Crew 2 to the first team. But we can't have the expectation that all of these players are going to move that way every single year. There's not enough room on the roster.
Yep.
Right.
So
I guess
maybe last year might be like our class of '96. Like for
man,
probably.
Yeah. I mean,
we got like a ton of players.
Zawa. Oh man. Yeah,
so those were the guys that were outside the stadium signing jerseys or whatever else today. Was those 5 guys? It was Sands, it was Arvston, it was Schulte,
was Farsi there?
Russell Rowe and Farsi.
Yeah.
Wow. So I talked to them,
and
I talked to Sands asking if you're going to play.
Was Zawatsky crew? Was Zawatsky?
Zawatsky was crew too. I mean, last year
he wasn't there though. He wasn't there.
If you take the team last year and played that Austin FC team, we wiped them off the field. Like, we were. I mean, I am willing to say that. Like, I don't think there's going to be an MLS Next Pro team that's as good as last year's Crew 2.
I think Connor is.
They were insane.
I think Connor's correct in saying it is time for Marco and Noah to be called up, and for the next generation of Cappies to come through. It just becomes where they called up to.
I don't know where they fit in.
And that might not be the Crew senior team.
I can tell at least 2 spots that I'm willing to give him right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, Molino is one.
Molino.
Yeah, there's one more.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So in that case, yeah, I for some reason I envision in my head like, oh, these guys are as good as like Zawa or Schulte.
No, but I mean,
like,
these guys could totally be
impact players.
Either trade, but they could also be trade bait. I mean, they could be players that could get traded on to other either senior teams or MLS Next Pro teams and make an impact for sure. But I think it's correct. I think you want to be moving players consistently through to see that growth with the team. So, yes, I would like to see Marco and Noah move along to a higher capacity of some sort.
I really liked how they had the, senior teams on Saturday and or I don't want to say senior. I guess that's probably not correct. The crew
elders,
and then
elder
crew,
teams.
yeah. Like the next having it on Sunday. So like some of the guys can make the bench on Saturday and come in and then go play on the second team. Cause I think like Quentin did that. The only guy I think that stands out to me.
Yeah, Quentin made the bench for sure.
Or a couple is Lapkus. The goalkeeper is insane. That guy is awesome.
Yeah.
And also Roberts, I think, is super good. And not this year, but maybe next year is Taha. I think Taha is – I think those three have a starting – come in impact player like Zawa if they have another
Roberts
year.
And Taha, they're both like 16 years old.
Yeah.
Right.
Like they're
My
children.
worry is if you come in and get a senior contract – and you come up and sit the bench like Quentin or something like that, or have like 2 bad games, you can't just like have a bad game. And watching Micheletto play against Austin, I'm like, man, he did not look good. No. And I'm worried that like he comes in for like 2 games, looks bad, and then like doesn't see the field again. I'm like, that's not fair.
Ben,
Micheletto would never play MLS.
No.
Yeah.
Ben,
which
I think our next Twitter question
it's fine.
speaks to also about the youth. So why don't you go ahead with that one?
Yeah. The Mr. Carr, which is the Mr. Carr, said should have put in Bowie. And then he has a picture of actual Bowie, but Bowie spelled different. B-O-U-H-I. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't really know that much about this guy. He's only 19. He's from the Ivory Coast. The subs in that game, I'm going to let Bird tackle that, but the subs in the game pulling off arguably our 3 most dangerous players was not great. Well, I'll let him tackle that. So the good news is we have all next year.
Man Who Fell to Earth.
Oh yeah.
All I heard was something about pudding.
Pudding fingers.
All this
pudding fingers.
I mean, Bowie is a player that played for Philadelphia system. He went to Cincinnati, and then now he's with us. And I think what part of the argument is if you're going to pull off Mateo and Taha, then put in somebody who can attack, and that would probably be Bowie.
Yeah.
I don't see why they pulled Mateo off. I really don't. They did the same thing in the previous game as well. I don't think it was a good call. I mean, not watching a ton of Crew 2 this year, but Mateo Bomberi was creating havoc up top that nobody else was doing.
That final, the final bit was missing, but I mean, matter of time.
I also feel like Austin knew that sub was coming, and they planned directly around it, because as soon as that sub happened in the 70th, the game turned.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we're going to move forward, putting a pin in the Crew 2 stuff. We're going to have Bird talk about it, but I think ultimately this season was a overwhelming success again for Crew 2. They were nowhere near as good as last year. I feel like they actually hit above their weight most of the season.
Oh, and they overachieved in the playoffs and getting as far as they did.
I mean, our system. We give up goals, and we gave up 0. I feel like maybe 1 goal leading up to the final and losing the final. It just happened to be Austin in the final, but it was a success. I'm not sure I would take anybody quite right now, but the future is definitely bright. All right, next one is Jamie Suttle saying, Matana's amazing. I hate any game where Ramirez doesn't start. Happy to see him. A few bad calls in the Cappy match, but Broccoli controlled the second half. There's a few potential in Crew 2 to do incredible things. I have a hard time heckling players who look like they're 12. Yeah. Some of them did look very, very, very young. But calls aside, I wasn't in love with the reffing, but I'm not going to pretend that Austin didn't probably deserve to take
in the end. It did.
Of
course, a free penalty doesn't hurt to get back into the game.
Yeah, ours was soft. That one was
first half. I think first half we were probably the better team. Second half they were by far the better team. We didn't have anything.
All right.
And anyways, but back to your point.
Sure.
In the first part of that, you're talking about Christian Ramirez starting.
That's my thing, man. I feel like that's our starting 3. And then you bring on Rossi as a more direct
time selling that
card.
though.
I know.
I mean, he's
I know. I get it.
Here's a couple of things. If I'm looking at the squad, I'm thinking into next year. They're only going to be like 3 guys that are over 25 years or so left in the squad, hopefully. There'll be Ramirez at 32. He's going to be 33 next year. Remember that. Keep it big. And we think about how our coach think about younger players. You have Russell Rowe. He's 21 still. He's still only 21 years old. And he's playing at a very nice, high, good level. Rossi's 25. Still a relatively young player.
Yeah.
Gressel is one of our oldest. He's 29. And then Anagby, I assume, will be sticking around. He can stick around for as long as he wants to.
He's turning 40.
Yeah, until he's the coach.
So,
yes.
Other than I agree with you 100%. Yeah. I mean, no, you're right. I mean, I want to see him shine right now. I mean, this might be his swan song for Ramirez.
I think next year, I think you're going to see a shift next year where he might start at the start of the season. We're going to start something similar. Let's see what happened this season, off season. We don't know yet, right? But I think next year you're probably going to see that twist where because I kind of see them a little bit on the competing. They're a little bit different. I understand they're a little bit different of players, but they're both pretty big guys. But at the end of next year, I will probably expect Russell Rowe to be favored over Ramirez.
I think the second part of this question interests me, though, is that, like, Haas, for you, did you have a problem heckling these players that looked like they were
12? Too old.
Not a lot of heckling going on over here.
By the way,
were you heckling the Austin fans?
So many horns.
Oh, yeah, the horns.
I was just trying to find a spot to enjoy the game and not have children surrounding me.
So
he hates kids.
Sorry, a little footnote. Like, we need another footnote, but I went into the cruise store.
Children.
And I didn't know they were still selling those damn vuvuzelas. I want to put in writing somewhere and send it in and say we're not allowed to sell these damn things anymore at the stadium. This is the most stupid thing.
This you know why they sell so many of them? It's one of the cheapest things you can buy in the store.
I know.
That's why they sell so many of the stupid things.
I ran
the kids are going to be like, "Oh, I want that."
And the parents are going,
and bought a $14 ball.
A shirt is $27. Get the horn, kid.
I bought a ball that was this big for $14. So I can run back out and have my daughter get it signed by all the guys outside.
Well, like a size 1.
And then Finn was playing soccer, so he missed it, and then was crying afterwards. So it was fun.
That makes sense. All right, let's pivot.
Not like this is around for.
Last
there was
one
one more.
is last one is playoff schedule is atrocious. Wednesday, Tuesday, Sunday. So, from what I read online, which never lies, is we got screwed because Atlanta Falcons have a game on that Sunday and it conflicts. So we looked at go ahead, Trey.
The question is, did we get screwed? Like, is this a good thing to get extended rest for, hey man, like, I wish we were playing Saturday or Sunday.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, like, is this better for the team to get more rest?
And the number of days between the two LDC games is the same.
Correct.
You're just kind of shifting the...
No, but I don't like the fact that there's supposed to be a home field advantage. You start changing up the days. You're changing up the whole...
Wednesday, the 1st of November.
Yeah.
Wednesday is a lot tougher.
It may be a harder sell to sell out, but hey, we
will sell out, but it's a
You don't think we will?
Was last night really sold out? Like,
it was one of the biggest Buckeye games of the year at the same day. I'm not saying that I
it looked good by the end of the game.
Yeah, I guarantee there was so many people that were planning on coming to both and be like, oh yeah, I can't make it down there because you couldn't get tickets. Trust me, we looked at it. There was you can play in the aftermarket.
Yeah. Wednesday
games are tough,
but I mean we play away on a Tuesday.
Playoff. Yeah, but it'll be good for a playoff. I think the Tuesday away is a strange one, but and then back on Sunday. I mean, I don't like it. I wish it was a little bit more compact and like in line with everybody else. And I guess the biggest question is if we actually go 3 games and we have to play on that Sunday, when would we play next?
Wednesday.
Is it like a 3-game turnaround?
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, just to clarify, is it November 1st, November 7th, November 12th.
Yeah.
Yes.
If there's a third game.
Yeah.
You
We're
must
just
be
gonna
looking
win
at
it.
the calendar.
We're gonna win it in 2, y'all. So don't worry.
Yeah, I don't think it'll matter.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that all of our tweets? Do they call them tweets still?
Yeah, I was going to take a look at the other thing
X's.
Other thing to mention is
Kisses.
we did make the CONCACAF Champions Cup CCL by winning this game, which is kind of cool, but also kind of like that's just a lot more games, especially like insane travel between Mexico and South America. But hey,
Yeah, I have mixed feelings about that. Too, I have to admit.
it's
You're
In
wrong.
North America, I
You're
care
wrong.
about MLS and then MLS and very little else.
It's good. This is where we can play those Crew 2 players. It's where we call them up.
There you go. Call
Bring
them up.
'em in.
Send them
And when
send
Haas
them
says
to
call him
Monterey.
up, he means like, ring him on the celly. Like,
Ring-a-ding-ding.
hey, what you up to? Hey, cut it in half and double it. I'm a big Crank Yankers fan. All right. Let's take a break.
Such a
Let's
big
take a break and do our. We'll hear from Bird if he can muster a synopsis. If not, we've got 12 days between now and the next game, so we'll hear from him at some point, and we'll give him his own special episode to do a postmortem
we
on
definitely need him on
the final. Okay, let's take a break now, and we'll do our predictions for the first of 2 Atlanta games coming up in November. We'll be right back.
This episode of the Upper 90 Club is brought to you, as always, by Supporter Supply Company. Hi, friends, this is your good pal Morgan Hughes, here to talk to you about a serious issue facing 96% of all Crew supporters in Columbus. Why, not enough free shipping, of course. For a limited time now, through the eventual heat death of the universe, Upper 90 Club listeners can use the promo code Upper90Boys. That's boys with a Z on the end of it, at checkout for free delivery on absolutely any order over $10. But Morgan, what if I order $10 worth of stickers, or those goddamned buttons, or some other combination of small items that make you want to kill yourself? Will the free shipping still apply then, even as you curse our family, while you package up our little tiny annoying ass order for us? Of course it will. That's just how much we here at Supporter Supply value our friends at the Upper 90 Club. So head on over to supportersupply.co and use the promo code Upper90Boys. That's boys with a Z at checkout for free shipping on all your orders over $10. And don't forget to tell them that your friends at the Upper 90 Club sent ya.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. Not the best of nights last night, as I'm sure everyone just know, and I know that you guys have talked a little bit about it. And but I think that we have to try to, keep our heads up and look at what it was a great season. It was completely different from our first and very successful season. I think that we were very spoiled by how well the team did, but that was the plan, right? On our first season as a Crew too, we brought in a lot of players who were either on the brink of making first team squads like Farsi and Russell Rowe and Zawadzki and stuff, or maybe even being able to play for USL teams. And this season, we relied heavily on younger players from the academy like Gio de Libera and Stas Latkes and Taha Brun and Cole Broca and so forth. And we were facing teams throughout the whole season, teams like Charlotte and Huntsville and even Austin that used the strategy that we used our first season, which is to bring those higher caliber players that they want to put into their first team right away next season, or even use during the season. I mean, the Austin goalie should be their starting goalie next year. The guy is very good. So what I think, and the lesson that I'm taking from that game, is that the leadership in the club and the leadership in the program, Corey Ray and Lauren Courtois and all of the team and the coaching staff involved, have transitioned to what is, in my opinion, a much more sustainable system. There's a system that can develop talent that we have in the academy, supplement it with players who are great finds to sign, like Thomas Roberts and Xavier Zengig, who's unfortunately has been hurt, and Daniel Almeida, who is I think, posing to go to the first team next year as well. And that way, we can continue on being good year after year. I mean, to make it to the final 2 years in a row, to win the Eastern Conference 2 years in a row, just like that is incredible. And we should be very proud of that. Another thing that we should be very proud of is the kind of support the Columbus Crew community has put behind the Cappies and the kind of buy-in that the league and the club and everything has had what we're trying to build here. I think that we have to be very proud of how many people showed up and the kind of atmosphere that we brought. As someone who is managing a lot of the Capi Brava social media, I have other supporter groups reaching out to us and asking to talk to us because they trying to replicate what we have on their MLS Next Pro fandom. And I think that's really cool. I think that we're building something special, and I am very thankful to be part of it. I'm very thankful for all the fans and for everyone else involved that have, been so passionate about what, for all intents and purposes, when it first started last year, there was very little buy-in and there was very little interest from everyone. And it started kind of a little bit of as a joke, but it has grown to something that I think is here to stay in the Columbus community. And I think it's something that is going to be very, very beneficial for the club as a whole, first team and second team, and for the community as well. So, as the result was not what we wanted, but it was a very good season. It's a season to be very proud of. We're going to have a lot of players leave because that's just the nature of the beast. But because we're building that base and we're using so much of the academy and we have such a young a number of players that are very young, I think that we are going to come in strong again next year. And I think that those guys are going to have a lot more hunger to go back and actually get us there. I think that we're going to be a contender again next year, and I'm very excited for it. So thank you very much for having me. Thanks very much for supporting the Columbus Crew 2 and the Cappies. And, well, see you next year. Bye-bye.
All right, we're back. Hey, predictions. Let's talk about this. Are we going to keep this going? Like, are we going to keep the same table going, or are we just going to? Am I the winner? Is someone the winner?
No, we argued this. We discussed and argued this last time, and we decided we're going to continue into the playoffs.
Okay.
We need to stop the podcast right. Yes.
Okay. All right. We're in alignment. I forgot to say it at the top.
Yeah.
Just cut this and put it at the top like non sequitur because it needs to be mentioned. We have a winner. A real winner.
Winner.
Oz did the echo. Oz did the echo. Mort did the echo. Anyway, Mellow Yellow Kit, 2-1, third correct prediction. Congratulations. Hey. Wait. That was a bad one.
Thank you, Haas, for touching the microphone a lot.
Yeah, he just he hit me up and he's like, "Yeah, I just now moved to Maryland." I was like, "What just happened?" And I could have sworn we saw him. We said, "All right," so we set it off the jump.
No free shipping. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. We'll congratulations on winning. We'll email you our Venmo to pay us for the yellow shirt.
No, we'll send you my Venmo. We'll send you my Venmo. It's the same one that's on the Hell is Real billboard between Columbus and Cleveland.
Yeah.
On the cheese burn.
So moving forward, so he won. Awesome. And we are going to figure something out starting with the postseason. So whoever wins has the most. We're still trying to figure it out. We may do a bracket, but I think we tried that before with Leagues Cup.
Yeah, we did it with the World Cup. We did World Cup. We had the bracket challenge.
Yeah, that didn't go well.
No, but the problem was then you had the group play and all that. Now it's knockout. It's a little different, I feel.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Let's just do it. Let's do a bracket challenge. Let's do that.
Yeah, we can.
So we will obviously give out some information on exactly what the name is the team or the league that you have to join, and then you just submit it the same way you would do it for some of these other
It will
March
be
Madness
posted on
and so on,
Twitter.
right? Yeah, and we posted on
X.
Twitter,
Yeah.
on X.
Okay.
Yeah,
And all the social medias.
All of them. Friendster, LiveJournal, Oz dropped again.
Yeah.
He go.
Man, we're not going to get his prediction. Although I think we can all safely say it's 2-0.
Probably 2-0.
2-0.
Right.
He'll say anything when he comes back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Mort. So run through the current table here, and we'll lay it out for Atlanta coming up.
Yeah, so no
about 10
real
days.
changes from last week because everybody predicted a win, and nobody got the correct scores. Everybody got
so close.
point. Yeah, Trey was really hoping for that third goal. Cucho probably would have.
Yeboah's shot still hasn't entered the atmosphere at this point.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
That's very true.
I was like, here it is, mother.
So that means we talked about scenarios and stuff, but we're gonna keep playing. And Mars is on the top of the table with a new personal world record, upper 90.
Wow.
MLS record of 24 points, followed by
Incredible.
Trey and Ben, that is neck and neck at 21 points. I follow at 19, and Haas is right there with 17 points.
Okay, so quick.
I wouldn't
quick
say he's
question.
right there.
I'm trying to be nice.
He's right down there.
Right down there.
To throw back to this.
I'm trying to be nice because
that got
in
cut.
reality, he is just as close to me as I am close to Trey and Ben.
Hey, so let me ask you something. So it sounds like am I 3 points clear of those guys? Did you say
are
I'm at
3
24
points
in there?
clear. So the problem
Okay,
was
so-
that
Yeah, so do we have a tiebreaker? Not that we're going to need one, but do we have one?
yeah.
Wrestling.
All right, we'll figure
Rock,
something
paper,
out.
scissors.
We'll figure something out if it's necessary.
Sounds
I
like you're
don't
not
think it will be.
confident. That's what that sounds like.
Yeah,
Well,
are you nervous?
I'm not.
So here's the thing. Who's going to start playing? Who's going to start? Who's going to start thinking we're going to lose? I'm curious to know that.
yeah,
Someone
'cause-
has to gamble.
yeah.
It can't be a
I don't know,
tie
man.
at this point.
We'll figure
by the
out
way,
a way.
I have a question here, though. I do have a question here. So these games will go full time, and if they go all the way, they actually have extra time and penalties. Are we counting the score at full time after extra time? Obviously, end of regulation, so
Not
it could still
including
be a tie.
penalties.
End of regulation.
Yeah, 90 minutes.
End of
90 minutes.
So in other words, tie is very much
End of 120.
Yeah, 120. Yes.
Wait, hold on. We do not count PKs.
No.
That's right.
Well,
But
except
we're-
for in the 90 or 120 minutes.
120.
I don't think so.
They
I
count.
think we're guessing 90 minutes.
No,
You're
it's
correct.
120.
120 minutes.
It's the
Yes.
result of the game.
Yeah,
I
the
don't
result
count a
of
PK
regular
because
game
Quit
play
with your
before the
business
penalties.
metrics.
And we do count the penalties that happens within play.
Of
But not
course.
after.
What kind of qualifier is that?
I'm gonna really
if there's a
overcomplicate.
putting that
mandatory
in,
five
Dad.
kicks for each team, you can't add
Hold on.
that in.
Trey, start reading the rule book now. Just start reading it.
Yeah.
And when you're done, we'll finish the podcast.
I'll just make it up. It's fine.
Okay,
That's what I do.
It sounds like you guys are not in favor of what I said, which is 90 minutes. So that's fine.
And this is a
do
democracy, so we're in America.
We'll do 120 minutes. This is America. What else was I going to say? Oh, you know what? We talked a few weeks ago about something that we talked about several weeks before that, which is the term
something we talked about.
far weather fan.
Oh, yeah.
And, Mort, you said something during the incredibly long break, or it might have been the shorter break that preceded this segment, but
long.
To those who say that we are far weather fans, how many points, if our predictions were the real outcomes of this season, how many points would the crew have scored?
We would have had the
would have-
supporter shield.
Yeah, we would have had, with a little bit to spare, we would have had 91 points.
91 points.
So we would
Okay.
have been 22 points ahead of Cincinnati.
Okay. All right. And I would just like to point out that let's see, this is a quick Google search, but looks like that's well above
I would think so.
the most points that any team has ever gotten.
I would say if you take 34 games and times it by 3, you get to 102. So yeah, you're pretty close to maxing it out.
Okay,
right?
all right. So to all the haters out there,
The one
spend
guy
a
who had
little
a
more
typo.
time offline. Okay, all right. So let's get into
the
it.
Leader of supporters show all time was 73 points.
That's what I see. Is
Yes.
New England
Okay.
in 2021.
Yes.
73 points.
73
So we would have
That's a good team.
eclipsed that by 9 wins or something.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Molino.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
true.
All right. So Haas.
Yeah, we got to put it in the chat, right?
Haas is back.
Yeah, he looked
For the fourth
He's
time.
nodding, so
Oh,
I
boy.
feel like he can't.
I think
hear
he's-
us.
Okay,
Can you hear us?
I have questions, Haas, because you look blue and you have
Yeah,
that
he's in the
scarf
blue man
really
group.
You're
tight.
either
You have that scarf really tight
really-
around your neck right now. So I'm just wondering what's going on.
For the listeners, Haas has joined and left this podcast
times.
probably
At least 6 times.
3 to 6 times.
Yeah.
Just during this segment. So welcome back. You don't have to say anything because we all know you're going to predict 2-0. But we're going to go through our predictions here. We're going to put them into the chat, and then we'll go through them, and then we'll get out of here. So
yeah,
is everybody
something
ready?
to note before we go on. I'm sure most of the listeners probably know, but Almada got a red card in the last game, so he got technically double yellow, so he's out, and he is their kind of like playmaker for Atlanta.
He's their best
like,
player.
Yeah, 100%. He's like the young player of the year, which is like totally arbitrary, but he is a very good player.
Hey,
Won the
real
World
quick,
Cup with Argentina.
Can I ask a quick question about the rules of this game?
No.
Not our game, but the beautiful game.
Don't ask.
Hold on. If they tie in a best of 3, is it a tie?
I didn't
can't
follow
be.
that at all.
That
Every
makes
game,
no sense.
there's no stoppage time. Every game will go to PKs.
Okay, that's okay.
No, that
Yeah,
makes no
so
sense.
there's
got
a
me.
winner for each game.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, so there's no stoppage time. So all that stuff we were talking about while you weren't here.
No, he's absolutely
Doesn't
wrong.
matter.
I missed it all.
There is overtime. There's added time and penalties.
Haas says no.
Not in the first round.
I don't.
First round
Ozzy
is,
says
I
no.
think Haas
first
is
round goes
correct.
straight to PKs.
I think Haas is wrong.
science. More
all right.
science.
It's not
It
science.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay.
It's just rules. All right, so we put it in the chat.
Yeah, let's
What
do
we're
it.
doing, man.
So
Everybody ready? 1, 2, 3, go. All right. Haas didn't say 2-0.
mine go.
Yeah, but
Okay.
Sorry.
like,
All right. Let's go through it here. Start with Ben. Ben, you said 2-0.
oh yeah,
Is that a Haas play, or are you just?
Yeah, they only score in Ben's this much. Or whatever.
Right. So for people who don't know Haas personally, for the last 15 years, he shattered his elbow and his arm only bends this much. And when you do an impression of him talking about it, it sounds like what Ben just did. Okay, great. 2-0. Did anybody else? Oh, Trey, you
Yep.
said 2-0.
I went 2-0.
Is that because it only bends this much? Is there another reason?
No, that's the reason.
No Thiago Almada.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
that's
hopefully
what I'm
no
thinking.
Kevin.
All right.
No Kevin.
More. You said 3-2.
Yeah,
Why?
3-2 crew. Why? Because these are the two most scoring teams in MLS, and they have that Greek named guy on top. That is,
Oh, Giakoumakis.
if he played more games, he
He's
might have been
Golden
the
Boot,
top scorer.
yeah, I
Yeah,
forgot he was
Golden
awesome.
Boot winner in this league.
I'm gonna
How
jump.
about that dude.
I'm gonna jump to. I said 3-2. Also,
I know. I saw that.
I had to read it. I had to read it twice because I was.
You
like,
did 3-2-2. That's what you should have, like 3-2-2. Like 2 isn't also. Anyways.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Save that for your linguist podcast. All right.
0 listeners to date.
Oh boy.
And then Haas said 2-1.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah.
2-0 was right there. Also, did he freeze? No. Okay.
No.
He's just okay.
He's just
I'm alive for now.
He's very still.
Yeah, he looks like a
Just
king.
wait, I'm gone.
He's enjoying the audio while he has it.
I'm alive for now.
Oh god.
All right. I just have to say, like, I don't know what this episode is going to cut out to be. Like,
I have no idea.
Say an hour maybe, but like we've been recording for 4 or 5 hours just to get.
We're going to release it
audio
before the podcast is technically over.
We're going to have a making of episode during the downtime so that you can hear all the outtakes.
VH1 special.
We'll do the director's cut. We'll do the commentary over top of the
How I end
original.
up killing myself.
The death.
Spoiler
of
alert,
Matthew
it's a scarf around the neck. All right. Well, so I
Austin
think
scarf.
we all think we're going to win. Shocking.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we're good. It's going to be like several days before the next game. I'm going to deliver Chris DeVille in the next few games, so we can do what do we call it? A shootout with him.
Still need a jingle. Looking at you, Jamie. They have a studio. She's a really good singer. It's a slam dunk.
All right. Yeah.
She can be like,
Please do. Yeah. Don't overthink it. Yeah. Just lay it out there. Just think of things that rhyme with stoppage time. Okay. Let's get out of here because it's been a long night.
Yeah, I have just one more thing to add. Was,
please.
Trey,
please,
you were totally wrong. In the best out of 3, there is no overtime because straight to penalties. I don't know what you were talking about.
That's what I said.
I don't remember it that way.
There's nothing else to say. We'll just say, "Go Crew, go Crew." Thanks everyone for joining the club. We hope you'll listen next week and every week, even in the off season, to celebrate or commiserate. We'll save you a seat. If you like this podcast, please give us 5 stars and subscribe. You can email us at upper90clubpod@gmail.com. That's upper90clubpod@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at upper90clubpod. Go Crew!
I need some.
I have clap, start, Haas back. Yeah, we absolutely derailed. This is great.